You don't actually need a billion fragrances, you just need really good fragrances. Or ones that you like wearing.
Time to musk up.
Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents Scents. Hope that you're doing well. Today, Holy Grail releases that you can wear all year round. Fragrance, whether it's summer, spring, fall, winter, day, night, work, sleep, your mom, you can wear these. I don't know why I brought your mom into this, I apologize. All of these linked in the description, let's begin. Let's start with a fragrance that I kind of puked on. What? I didn't actually do that. I didn't actually do that. Well, let's start with a fragrance I did not love when it was new, that I have come around to really appreciate for what it does. It's this one, Born in Roma, I Peed on Myself. Yellow Dream. Yellow Dream, that's the correct name for this, Yellow Dream. But I will go to my deathbed saying that that name does not work that well in English. I understand Valentino is not an American brand, I get it, but Yellow Dream is like, questionable. Guys, I got a great idea. We got this new aquatic fragrance, okay? Just an absolute banger, a real ripper. People are gonna think it's amazing. We just need the name. And to me, this fragrance is like, it's such a good aquatic, it's like a dream. I've got it. Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma, Wet Dream.
Brother,
This name is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it.
how's this for a wet dream?
It's like when YSL came out with Y Live. Take a look at that name. Anything wrong with it? Oh yeah, they forgot that you could pronounce the way that's written as live. So they actually released a fragrance called Y Live. Genius. So back to Yellow Dream right here. This guy is a little bit similar in terms of how it smells to Stronger With You. So you may hear that, and if you've never smelled this, you may think to yourself, well, Stronger With You, that's more of fall, winter time fragrance, right? So how would I wear this year round? Well, that's because this one is a fresher kind of iteration take on that style of fragrance. It has pineapple off the top, good amount of gingerbread technically as well. But then it does have that warm kind of sweetness, that gourmand adjacent scent profile to it as well. So you can wear it during summer. Admittedly, I wouldn't go like crazy heavy in the middle of summer, but you can pull it off. Definitely way easier than you could something like Stronger With You. And in typical Valentino Uomo Born in Roma style, it is a people pleaser. Very easy to wear, very versatile, big compliment puller. Works just as well for younger guys as middle-aged guys. It is one of those scents where if you judge it based on straight up just uniqueness, then maybe you would say, you know, it's borrowing from this and that, and so I'm gonna dock it points. But if you evaluate it based off of just usability, it is fantastic. Le Beau, Le Parfum. So this is one that I've harped on a little bit over the years as being just a massive, massive attention grabber, like magnetic almost. Tropical, fresh, creamy, and sweet all at once. Good amount of coconut in here. The only potential drawback with it is middle of summer. This one to me is pretty heavy. So it's one of those ones where you don't want to go crazy heavy on the trigger, but that does give it a little extra usability in the middle of winter. If it's really cold out, something like this actually smells surprisingly awesome. And as far as the Le Beau lineup goes, for me, if you want a fragrance that will work in any situation, daytime or evening, this is probably your best bet because of course, in the summertime, you can just dial the sprays down a little bit because it has really good performance, so you don't have to worry about it just dissipating and flying away in a couple of hours. It'll still be there. Stuff works super well. Le Beau Le Parfum, that is a holy grail. And it has a leaf covering its junk because, you know, they want to be PC. No chiseled wang on this one. Yay. Flower edition did not get the memo though, so. The next one is Michael Malul Ocean Noir. Now, of course, I work with Michael Malul. I have multiple fragrances that I've creatively directed underneath the brand. A couple new ones coming out actually really soon. So keep that in mind. I know like pretty much everybody at Michael Malul. That being said, Ocean Noir is their best-selling fragrance, and it makes sense why. It is, as you can tell by the name, an aquatic fragrance, and it has a little bit of a deepness to it, hence the Noir in the name. By the way, really quickly, if you are on TikTok, which if you're not, stay off of it. But if you are, throw me a pity follow at Gents. Obviously being named Ocean Noir, it has aquatic notes in here. There's also Tangelo, which is interesting, coconut as well. Then as it dries down, tonka, amberwood, a little bit of musk. Nice staying power, good projection. It's one of those types of scents that if you just think of it as an aquatic, you'll go, oh, summertime only. But in reality, you can wear this whenever you want. And it has a nice twist on that more typical, marine summertime vibe. Not too sweet, not too creamy, really balanced. Now this one I got to include just because the bottle is massive and the price is right. Bob Barker style, or Drew Carey, or whatever. Rais by Rabiat Prestige. I also bought this one recently from JOMASHOP. This is Twilight Aura, so you can stack those and get yourself a real fat bottle stack going. This one right here though, this is more Herbapura style. If you like Herbapura, you can check this one out. I'm not a massive fan of that scent profile, but yeah, this one is more like that. So if you were thinking to yourself, oh, I really wish I had an Herbapura in an oversized bottle, there you go. This one right here, which is just Rais in the deep blue bottle. This one is gonna be Acqua di Gio Profondo. And this is a 6-ounce size bottle, 180 milliliters. So yeah, you get a whole lot of bang for your buck. And when I say Profondo, this is a little bit closer to the original Profondo, so the one that came first. Not the new version, the Eau de Parfum with the gradient. Nah, this is just the OG Profondo. Back when you said Profondo and people knew right away, oh yeah, Profondo, of course, there's only one of them. Yeah, I get it. To be fair though, I think for most people when you say Profondo, they automatically assume the Eau de Parfum because they think Parfum, ugh, Eau de Toilette, ugh, Eau de Parfum. That's the only one. Now this might have a little more like a zingy fruitiness to it compared to, just straight up Acqua di Gio Profondo, but it's still gonna give you that same kind of vibe. And Acqua di Gio, in just about all of its forms, facets, shapes, and styles, you can wear pretty much whenever you want. I know that when it goes full bore winter time, a lot of people are gonna be like, no, I don't wanna wear it, it's too fresh for that. But actually in the cold, it smells really nice. Give it a try. You might like it. Okay, this one is just super obvious, so I'm gonna throw it out there real quick. This is Lynked Freedom by Afnan. This one is almost like a cheat code for this type of video because it's a blend of 2 fragrances, and one of those fragrances is better for spring and summer and one is better for fall and winter, so you kind of put them together and it's like, you can use it whenever you want. I really thought about this. Whoa. So it's YSL Myself, stop me if you've heard of that one before, and also the Most Wanted Parfum. Yeah. So essentially Afnan just looked around and they were like, let's find 2 of the most popular scents out there. Let's make them kiss. And this one also does get better with age. So a little maturation, and this one will be much nicer than when you first get it in. It smelled fine when I first got it, to be fair, but it does smell better now. Sometimes clone brands rush things out a little bit. What I mean by that is, they'll have everything blended, and then they'll get it packaged, and it's just immediately shipped out, and then you buy it from a store and you get it in and you check the manufacturer date and it's the same month that you got it. And so it hasn't had a lot of time to kind of sit and mature. And for most fragrances, if you're talking niche or designer as well, by the time you get it, they've actually been sitting in that glass bottle for a while. Not like a crazy long time, but enough to have everything matured a little bit. So that happens sometimes with clone brands especially, and so that's why you'll get that difference sometimes after you let it sit. So it opens up much closer to myself, very fresh and clean, but then underneath, instead of just being like that clean amber fix that myself has, you get a little more of that ambery sort of warmth, a little more of that sweetness coming across from the Most Wanted. Also gives it a tiny push, extra little bit of performance as well. So that one you can wear whenever you want. Big compliment puller, great release, especially if you scoop it for a low price. That's what I'm talking about. All right, classic. Up next, Eros Eau de Parfum. Now I know some people are like, yeah, Eros, it's not a classic. You're a moron. I hate you. Fair enough. But Eros just works, man. Ever since it's come out, the original, it has been one of the best-selling men's fragrances in the world. And the reason it sells extremely well is not because people hate it. It's because the opposite. And I think for a ton of people, the best one to get if you were gonna have just one is this one. the Eau de Parfum. Now, I sometimes will gravitate more towards Eros Flame or Eros Parfum, you know, depending on my mood and everything, what I'm doing, where I'm going, all that stuff. But the Eau de Parfum, it splits the difference. It's the Goldilocks release, right? It doesn't smell as sweet as the Eau de Toilette, or as some people say, synthetic. It doesn't lean as much in that direction, but then also it's got a little more of a casual vibe compared to the Parfum. And that means you can really pull off the Eau de Parfum in most any situation. Daytime, nighttime, even more formal occasions, it'll fit in. And then of course, if you wanted to wear it on a night out or something, it'll work there too. Eros, and I've said this a bunch of times, has been unfairly kind of pigeonholed by some people, or at least for a time anyway, into you know, clubbing fragrance only. It's only for 16-year-olds or 18-year-olds. Anybody else can't wear it. That's not true at all. Eros actually makes a fantastic office fragrance. You just have to have a little trigger discipline. I know it's like a foreign concept for some people, but there are a lot of times where if you spray less, you will get better reactions. Again, I know that's like not the trendy thing right now. The trendy thing is, nah, bro, 30 sprays, dog. But a lot of times, you know, dial it down and you're gonna have a much nicer reception from people as opposed to just like Neanderthal style. Because that really is almost the approach, you know what I mean? More sprays better. 50 spray better than 10. Women like me. I am smart. To be fair though, there are times to go heavy. So I'm not saying never go heavy. I'm just saying, you know, figure it out, dude. Clone Zone Zenith Beau by French Avenue. This is for the bro who does not want to spend the dough to smell like Dior Sauvage, but they sure would like to smell like Dior Sauvage. Now, here's the deal. Dior Sauvage is mad popular. We all know that. I know that, you know that, your brother knows that, your neighbor knows that, your coworkers know that, everybody knows that. Johnny Sauvage Depp out in the desert shredding on guitar while wolves chill out for some reason. And then he buries his necklace and like rings and stuff because it's cool, pretty much. But one thing is definitely true. Dior Sauvage is a fragrance that people absolutely adore. In the real world, that stuff is a monster. And that's why it keeps being a bestseller year after year after year after year. You know, same thing I said about the Eros over here, right? Same stuff you can say about Dior Sauvage. Now you may be tired of the ambroxan overload that it's gonna impart upon you. But as far as year-round versatility, it's one of the best ever made. This one, pretty much just trying to go you know, very, very close to that Sauvage vibe. Not like a massive twist, you know, not like this one over here. Got a nice sweet pop of bergamot off the top with this one. Maybe slightly smoother in terms of how the citrus comes across here. Not as like peppery as Dior Sauvage, but you still absolutely are gonna get hit with that regardless. You know, the pepper is still there. The lavender, ambroxan, all of that comes across also. Longevity, really, really good. Sticks around for a long time. Projection is not untethered. Its rage does know some bounds, but still, it works. Before that next fragrance hits, how about some codes? Yeehaw. Dang it. Yeah, here they are, bros. So we got a new code for FragFlex. It'll save you 10% off the website. Use it however many times you want, 52,000 times, you can do that. Got codes for Fragrance Lord, JOMASHOP, the perfume box. Lots of stores, man. So use those codes anytime you shop at these stores, which you see before you. Save yourself some money. The next fragrance, Invictus. Now there are a lot of Invictus fragrances you could use for year round. Probably not Victory or Victory Elixir or, you know, Victory Absolute, but you know, a lot of the other ones you could. For me, when it comes to talking about a very versatile Invictus, I a lot of times kind of gravitate towards this one. Invictus Aqua, also, you know, solid for year round, though maybe middle of winter you might, you know, rethink it. This one kind of ticks all the boxes. So it has that same kind of vibe where you can wear it casually, you can wear it formally, and it would work in either one. That's because it still maintains a lot of that Invictus fresh plus sweet combo that it's really well known for, but it cleans it up and makes it smell a little bit richer, a little bit classier. You know, it has that soap accord in there, hence cleaned up. Being a parfum, you get pretty good longevity out of it as well. I like the look of the presentation, the new svelte styling of it. And I think for a lot of people who dislike Invictus Parfum is a really solid choice. Armaf Valor up next. This one smells like PDM Sedley. So this is gonna be one of those ones that is a little bit closer to spring, summer. Yeah, this is not gonna be as much of a year-round vibe as some of the other ones, at least not immediately recognizable as such. And that's because sadly for a lot of people, you know, just very aromatic, clean, a little sweet, fresh, kind of like I stepped out of the shower and I wanna blast something on that's gonna carry that clean aspect through the day. Like that's the whole idea for a lot of people with Sedley, and so that's what this has as well. So that sort of citrus, mint, lavender, rosemary, ambroxan, you know, combo that Sedley has, you're gonna get the same deal here. So it's absolutely not gonna be the type of scent that people, when they smell it, they think, oh, yeah, I could wear that in winter, but you absolutely can, just like the OG. It's gonna give you more of a briskness off the top because of that mint, especially when that hits the cool air. To me, it smells fantastic. Actually, one of my favorite things is fragrances that are mint forward. Wearing them when it's cold outside, it's just like such an icy blast, which of course it is, but it really hits a little bit different when it's cold out. All right, the last one I'm gonna do two. So both of these in silver bottles, Ralph's Club New York, myself Absolute. These came out relatively close to the same time, and again, they have a pretty similar look to them as far as the color scheme. Both of these, fantastic for year-round use, absolutely. Ultra versatile, both of them big compliment pullers, both of them newer releases, like I said already. Ralph's Club New York, love the opening, the black currant in there. Not heavily done, you know, little touch of tartness from that, but it gives a nice twist compared to your more typical openings for all the designers out there. As it dries down, a little bit of modern woodiness comes out, just a really well done day-to-day, like jack of all trades type scent. And then myself Absolute over here, this stuff is very, very good for year-round use. Big pop off the top with ginger and citrus. As it dries down, some patchouli comes out. Maintains that myself clean laundry sort of vibe that people are drawn to. Wear it whenever you want. And that goes for honestly all the myself fragrances. Maybe myself Le Parfum, a little bit geared more toward fall and winter time, but this one especially in the Eau de Parfum, who cares? Wear it whenever you want. There we go, guys. These right here, you can wear these year round, every single day of the year. Daytime, nighttime, it doesn't matter. Certified compliment beasts. They will work for you. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Of course, all you guys that stay until the end, the MVPs. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.